if you ever needed a sign to quit smoking, it was lighting your house on fire.
I was literally waking up wanting to punch someone in the face, and I was like,
I'd never seen anything like it. God.
There was lots of screaming, and I'm holding back laughter because I'm just like,
okay. Let's just. All right.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Saucy Sibz podcast. I'm your host, Francesca.
And I'm Nicodemus.
And if you're watching, there's two dogs that aren't mine.
Yeah.
In here.
Izzy and Winston.
They're my friends' dogs. And they're great. I love them. They love us too much.
They do love us a bit too much. Yeah.
Winston's on Nick's lap. Izzy's just rolling around on the carpet.
So if you guys hear like panting and like dog noises throughout this whole thing, we don't know what to do.
No, we tried to barricade them out of the room and they started barking. And then we tried to just like barricade them so they could see us, but like not come in the closet, barking, scratching. It's like toddlers.
It really is. Imagine if you did have a kid. How do you record a podcast?
You have childcare. No, because like I've seen like women on TikTok who have kids that are like, if I could just go to the bathroom, or they'll put up videos of them in the bathroom and their toddlers are like clawing underneath to get to them. And like, sometimes you just need a second.
Just give me 5. Give me 5.
Za's fine without me. Like if we want Za to sit next to us in the podcast, great. If not, like just right now, she's pissed because these two are in here.
Yeah.
Za is like, she's like, I'm good. I'm chill. I can hang out. But then if she's like pouting now. She's like, I don't want to be fucking associated with them.
I know. Well, good, because one dog less is better. Even though Zod does just chill, but here we are.
No, and Winston's also been peeing all over the house.
I feel like dogs in new spots. They just
I know her
like they've never been in a house before.
I've watched him before, but it was without Za.
Oh yeah.
So I think now he's like marking. They're like having territory fights.
We love territory fights by small 10-pound animals. Well, guys, if you haven't noticed, if you're watching, we're back in the freaking studio.
We are.
I know.
We only committed a little insurance fraud.
Just a tiny bit, you know? For those of you who don't know, our over Christmas, what?
I thought you were going to be like, for those of you who don't know, we love fraud.
Oh, no, but we do love fraud. I mean, Francesca and I think that's we've said that before on the podcast. Like, Francesca and I love fraud. You know, whatever that means, just like soft fraud, you know?
No, exactly. Just a soft, fraudulent claim.
Yeah. And anyway, after Christmas, we got back to Denver and we sit down to go into the studio, do a little recording, and
New year, new us.
Yeah. So ready to hit the ground rolling. And the entire studio has flooded and everything's covered in mold. And then before you know it, there's a whole bunch of men in here cutting up everything.
Within an hour, it was filled with maintenance guys just like cutting the walls out.
Literally, like with a saw.
Yeah. But they did. They ripped up the carpet. They took the walls out. Honestly, it looks great.
Yeah.
Nick repainted.
I did. Took me a while. I only did one coat because I said, fuck it. Like, I can't be involved.
Yeah.
Two coats.
You know, they did offer to replace the carpet in our whole apartment just so it all matched because they have like a new carpet in the apartment. And I was like, I can't. Like, I'm tired of, like, we have like a pretend moving company.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but we always find ourselves moving shit. And they were like, oh, well, you have to like break down all your furniture and like move it out. And I was like, absolutely not.
I just don't want to deal with it. You
No,
know, it's like, and last year was like this too. January is always a little bit rough.
No, it's the Mondays of the month.
It's the Mondays of the month. And last year we were always like, everything got really good for us. We were like, okay, this is February. Woo, woo, woo. And it's doing that this year.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, today, like the check came in from this room.
Yeah.
We were like, yes.
We got that money.
Making rent.
I know.
With the insurance claim.
A fraudulent insurance claim is how I'm paying rent.
It wasn't that much fraud, guys. I just
fraud.
like
it's not fraud.
added, a little bit onto like how much things cost in the room.
Maybe
just a tiny bit.
Yeah,
if you're watching this, it's exactly how much it costs, and I have the receipts.
That's what I mean. Like maybe you did, maybe you didn't.
I even let them depreciate it.
Yeah.
You know, when you do an insurance claim, they depreciate your stuff by like how many months and years you've owned it.
Oh, really?
Wow, that dog is just.
I know this dog loves me. You're really distracting. Like, I'm a content creator. You small Pomeranian.
I know. No, Winston wants to be the star of the show. He is really cute.
That's so Pomeranian energy.
I know.
Oh, JK. Like, I've been good all day, sorta, but now you're gonna sit down to record. Let me just cause a goddamn scene. Whatever. He is soft though. It was fun.
Speaking of Nick, God, my dogs are just barking.
Oh yeah.
My dogs are just barking.
Do you guys know what that means? My dogs are barking. My dad looks at me and just goes, "My dogs are barking."
While we're in Vegas.
No dogs. And I just said, like, do you need like a hot dog or something? Like,
is it a sexual thing?
No. Like, are you hungry? Like,
yeah.
Dogs. I never heard that before.
He goes, man, my dogs are barking. And we're like,
I guess it means that your feet are hurting. Never heard it before ever in my life. But now I've been using it. I use it on an older dude. Where was I?
I don't know.
I was like, man, my dogs are barking. And he goes, I'll tell you. And I was like, damn. I guess that is a saying people say. Not me, though. But now it's my new thing. I almost texted him last night because I was working late. Yeah. And it was like midnight. I almost texted him, my dogs are barking. And I just know he would have like woken up to the laugh. Yeah.
I guess it's like an old saying. But yeah I'm going to start saying.
Dogs are barking. It's so weird. I had never heard that before. But
yeah, we were just in Vegas.
And so we said to you guys last podcast that like I love Vegas. And you know what? Vegas did not disappoint. Everything was lovely. What else happened in Vegas?
That's it. Everything was lovely. No, we went for the fancy food show, guys. So basically Costco samples times a million.
Oh my gosh.
We ran around. We made friends with a lot of Italians.
We did.
Because they were like over from the old country.
Yeah.
Like selling their foods for the new restaurants and grocery stores. And paisans. They were our people.
Yeah, it was really good. This old Italian man was telling me about how he used to be a gang member and someone tried to cut off his ear. So then he moved to Canada and now he makes gluten-free pizza crust. And I was like, what the fuck?
Should I marry him?
I know. No, he was like 80. Yeah.
I missed this.
Yeah. It was when me and mom went off. And he was just telling us this whole life story about like, he was like, and then finally I left my wife, which was great. And then I was like, I don't know. He was just giving me it all.
Okay, you got to scoot him off your lap.
I know.
Just scooch him.
All right, sorry, dogs. Okay, that might work.
Is he laying down over there?
I don't know. Can't see.
I'm not going to make eye contact.
No eye contact. No eye contact with these dogs.
It's just, wow, that worked. Okay. I was like, wow, that can't continue for an hour.
I know. I was like, how long can you pant? Okay, we've said before on this podcast that if you need someone to cause a scene, it's Francesca. Absolutely. And literally, we were trying to get a cab to leave Paris, and Francesca was there for quite a scene.
I was there for everyone.
Yeah.
I was a woman of the people. I was protecting our cab driver.
True.
Basically, the security guy at the Paris, one security guy told this guy to come over in line. And then the other security guy didn't like where he was. So he wanted to punish us and him, even though also like the bellhop line. I don't know. It's like we pay a man to tell our cab where we're going, which I think is like an absurd thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like I'm always tipping people in Vegas.
Yeah.
But so he gets us, he tells us where to go. We get in, and then the new security guy decides, oh, fuck that cab driver. He goes, so he just lets everyone pass. Oh, keep going. Keep going. Oh, yep. Nope. You stay. Like us.
For like 5 minutes.
8 minutes. And our cab driver is like, yo, do you know what's going on? He's like, hey, like, can I go? And he's like, nope. You decided to get out of line. So like, you're going to sit right here. Won't let him do his job. So no one's making money here. We're late for our dinner reservation.
We're all confused on what's going on. Cab driver, family in the car. It was so strange.
I'm going to get heated thinking about it. No, he just like wanted to punish us, like teach him a lesson. But I'm like, we're guests at your hotel. Why are you ruining our night?
I know, literally. So we're like, okay, just get out of the cab. And the cab driver's like, no, stay in the cab. And we're like, no. And then finally the cab inches forward, like trying to go. And then so the security guard was like, hey, he just hit me in his car.
No, he started getting, because I called the other guy, the bellhop other guy over. Then there's like a high-end security guy, like with an earpiece, like for the hotel. And I was like, this guy won't let us go. He's causing a scene. Like he's like punishing us. And then that security guy starts saying that the cab driver hit him. And that's why he was keeping them there. And I was like, he didn't hit you. 100% he didn't just hit you. I was like, now you're lying to save your ass? I was like, absolutely not.
I've never seen like a brawl happen in the middle of like a Vegas parking lot before. But
I think everyone's losing their minds. But anyway, like we finally got out told the higher up dude that guy was like being crazy. And then the cab driver was like, hey, he's now saying that like I hit him. He's like, I know they have cameras, but can I have your guys' information to be my witness? And I was like, fuck yeah, you can. I was like, absolutely all day. Like, I'll go on the stand for you.
Yeah, you were ready to testify in court. Yeah.
I was like, get Judge Judy down here right now. No, I don't know what is in the air. Like, I know, like, I feel like all the planets going direct were supposed to be good, but like,
or maybe it's not all the time. It's good.
Everyone's
it means like
just losing their minds. Like, I just feel like people are yelling at other people.
I know.
People are just, and I'm here to stick up for the little man and make sure things go right. But like today, you had someone yell at you.
Yeah, I was like, okay, so I'm waiting to take a left out of a red light, or it's actually a green light, and but there were people crossing the road. So, or like crossing the crosswalk. So I'm waiting for them to cross the crosswalk before I like take that left on a green. And so they pass my car. And so then I slowly inch forward and then like take a wide left. And he yells at me. He goes, hey, we're walking here. And I literally was like, that's why I waited.
Yeah.
That's why it was a green light. I could have gone right and like zoomed in front of you. No, I like waited for you to cross.
I scared a woman today. I walked out. She was walking in. I scared her and she cussed at me, freaked out. And I'm like, there's no windows on this door. I just scared you a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, but I didn't do anything wrong. I just opened the door.
It was like you were just coming out of like the steel door of the building.
Yeah.
And then
she
scared
was like,
her.
oh, Jesus Christ. Like, and she just looked like I had ruined her day. I'm like, yeah, I scared you a little bit. Like, I guess the door is, you know, when you go to open a door and someone opens it and it's like, it's startling.
Some people can like slam it open and that can be like, oh, you know, but.
No, I was just coming out of the door. I was like.
That's why they usually have windows. With the, you know.
I was like, I'll let her be upset. It's not going to ruin my day. But I was like, what? Like, everyone needs to take a breath.
Everyone does need to take a breath, including me, you know, because I feel like I've been a little fired up too. It was my birthday though.
Yeah, but like fired up in a good way.
Fired up in a good way, yeah.
What? Go ahead.
No, go on.
No, I was going to say, although not with name droppers.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about it.
Okay, let's talk about it.
People are pissing me off.
Okay, yeah, people have just been fucking being crazy. I'm
just going to tell you guys. Welcome to our podcast where we just bitch.
Sometimes
you just need a space to vent. No, we actually have like some of the funniest stories that happened to us this week, but I guess we're just getting the bitching out of the way first.
Let's just bitch out of the way. Yeah, so it's my birthday, and as I do, I usually hang out with 30,000 people all at once, and it lasts for about 4 days. That's just who I am. You can come for one day, or you don't have to come at all. It's completely okay. Only very few are along for the ride for the entire week. But anyway, so we were at Walker and Royce with like a group of like 30 people. So much fun. Really great time.
Actually, I will say, I'm going to props to everybody who showed up.
Yeah.
Because I was like a secretary usually for Nick's birthday. Like tell the people where we're going to be.
What's happening.
But it was like a really good showing. Everybody came to say hi. I don't know. It was just like, it was like a great birthday. We had a show to go to at Mission Ballroom. We had like a pregame and afters for everyone to show up to. It was good.
Everything went so smoothly. And so this afters that we were going to, they usually close at 2. But they were doing afters for us. So they were going to like stay open later. And they said that we could bring a few people, you know, and by a few, I mean, I'm showing up with 30 people. But anyway, it was no big problem at all. So I kept on like telling people, they were like, oh no, that place closes at 2. And I was like, yeah, I know, but not for me. It's my birthday. They're going to stay open.
Yeah, for just like a little bit.
And people are like, oh, that's cool. That's like, and again, like I'm trying to invite people to like a little fun shindig like after my birthday, you know?
Yeah, just a little like secret, homey, couple people afters for your birthday.
Totally. Very normal. And so like I said it to this one guy and I was like, oh, hey, like we're going to go have afters here. He was like, well, they close at 2. And I was like, no, I know, but you know, not tonight for me. And he was like, oh, I know the owners. He's like one of my best friends. And I was just like,
it's one of your best friends? What? Like, why is he trying to flex on you? You're just trying to be nice.
Like, I'm literally trying to invite you to a party, but fuck me. I'm so rude. And so he was just like, oh yeah, that's one of my best friends. And I was like, okay, well, that's what we're doing. That's what the plan is. And that's what the owner said. And he's like, you're making it so much worse. And it was just like the weirdest little bitchiness that I get people have. Didn't you say the same?
The exact same conversation. Somebody asked me like, hey, like they asked me, hey, what are you doing tonight? And I said, I'm going here. And they go, well, they close in 30 minutes. I go, well, no, they don't. And he goes, and I was like, well, if you're like close homies, sometimes we could stay open a little later. A little secret. And obviously why I'm not saying the place right now. And I was like, oh, well, like if you're homies, it's not closing at 2 tonight. And he goes, yeah. I'm super close with the whole crew there.
Okay, well, clearly you're fucking
Clearly
not.
you're not,
like,
because you think it closes then, because it doesn't for the people. And like, I don't like to flex that. Like, I would never tell someone that someone is my best friend unless like they actually were. Sometimes people ask me about certain people. They're like, oh, you know them? I'm like, I've met them once. Yeah. I don't like to. I like would die from the embarrassment of saying that someone was my close friend, which has happened to a few other people, like bragging to us. Then we found out that person doesn't even know who they are.
Which is crazy.
I want to save myself from that embarrassment at all costs. So like, Ian, I'm just truthful. I'll be like, oh no, like I don't even fucking know them at all. Like I literally met them once at a party and followed them on Instagram. But no, like these people, very close with. I don't want to give away like too much more.
We weren't like sitting here being like, you can't come where we're coming because you're not going to be able to get in, but we can. It wasn't like that. It was like, I'm literally just telling people, hey, come with us. Oh, you think it closes? Well, not tonight. Not if you're with me. You know, that's all I was saying. I'm inviting you. I'm being nice. Or have you ever had like those people be like, oh, I can get you into that club. And I'm like, oh, really? And they're like, yeah. Just ask me anytime you want to go. I'm like, hey, can I go to this club? And they're just like, oh yeah, I don't know. And it's like, okay, then why'd you even fucking say it?
No, it's this weird payoff of being like, yeah, I can get you free tickets. Same thing. And it's like they want in the moment to like feel cool and like name dropping or something in front of people. And it's like, but if you don't follow up, then like it's embarrassing. Like maybe you got a little bit of a notch higher. Like that was cool. I could buy my own tickets, but if you're going to offer, great.
Let me know.
Then you can't pull through. Then you're below. You lose points.
I know. Then it's like, okay, well, then it's awkward. It's weird. Now you're like lying. I just don't.
If I say to someone like, you can come stay with me, you can come whatever, it's like, take me up on it because I'm never bullshitting.
I'm going to be serious about it, you know?
Yeah. And some people are like, are you sure I can stay with you? Are you sure? Or whatever. It's like, yeah, dude, if I offered, like, it is on the table, take advantage.
Completely.
And so when I do that with like other people, I don't know. I don't think name dropping's ever cool. And then
don't ever name drop. Even if you can name drop. Like if you can, don't do it to strangers or people that don't know you too well. Because it's like people will think less of you. So if they are cool, they know that name dropping isn't cool. So it's like, oh, this guy's a name dropper. He's full of shit. Mm-hmm. Right? But if you actually can't name drop him, but you trying to are, then you are full of shit and it's fucking weird. And you're just strange and lying about something. So it's just like, just don't name drop until you can like really trust the person you're talking to.
I think it's like fine. I like to, not like to, but like if it's like a close friend, I'm like, like I know them. And they know I'm not full of shit. I'm like, okay, hey, I'm going to kind of name drop real quick. This was a really cool thing that I did with this really cool person. Like it was insane. And you're kind of like, you're being like, okay, obviously like this is absurd, but I've got to tell you this story. It's pertinent to the story. Yeah. Not like, that's your only personality is dropping people cooler than you. And like it makes me sad for people that's all they have is those name drops because it's like, you should feel cool on your own. Yeah. Like if you like feel good about yourself and that your stories are good enough without the famous person or the owner of this or I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
It literally will never make you look cooler. Ever. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like it's only embarrassing. Or money. Same thing goes with like talking about money.
Yeah.
Usually
so. Yeah.
Usually people who talk about it don't have any. Mm-hmm. And like, again, with people you know really well, you're like, okay, so this is like a crazy story. I was on this insane yacht. Like, I don't know how I fucking ended up there. But if like that, if you're just leading with, so I was on a yacht and then I was driving the Ferrari and then I did like, you're just kind of like.
Oh, like when people post photos of them in a private jet.
It means they have no money.
Immediate. Red flag.
The biggest red flag. People who fly private don't take photos of themselves like
unless you're like Maluma or something.
Yeah, there are people like Kim Kardashian, those people like they have photos in front of jets or on them or on their I think it's usually just on their stories. Yeah. It's chuggy to like sit or they might be like taking a nap, but it's like they own a jet. Like that's fine. Mm-hmm. They're in one.
Yeah.
But if you don't obviously own one, like
you just have like a weird picture of you in the jet. Yeah. That's always, whenever I see that, I'm always like, eyebrow raise, eyebrow raise.
No, it's kind of, I was telling one of my girlfriends recently, trying to figure out if this guy like is who he says he is. And I was like, my best friend saw his profile. And the first thing she said, she goes, because this girlfriend of mine has dated insanely rich men that have jets. She goes, Francesca, he has a picture on a private jet. He has no money.
He has no money.
Yeah, she was like, it's all fake. I was like,
can I say that I don't have any photos of myself on a private jet, but I don't own one or have ever been on one.
We've never been on one.
So yeah, I'm not saying that, but
I would put it on my story more because I'm excited to fly. Like I think it is exciting.
Yeah.
It is cool. Like if your friends on a plane or you get to be in one, like I'm not saying like act too cool.
Yeah,
like if I'm on it, I'm like, I'm excited. This is so-and-so's plane. Like, yes. But like
it is a bucket list item for me though.
100%.
To, like fly private.
It is cool.
I think,
that's why people want it on there. But it's like, it's just the like pretending like it's yours. Like, who did you get to take those photos? Like you're doing business. Like you always take
like
jets.
with the laptop out. Like,
yeah,
stop.
You're just so busy. You can't even look at the plane around you.
Yeah.
You're just, honed in on work.
Too much. All right. Are we, is bitching over?
I think so. Hold on. We haven't even looked at our notes. Oh, one more bitch.
One more bitch.
All
right.
And I don't know why this like always happens that people need to ask you to ask me on a date.
Oh, this is funny.
Why?
This is funny.
You are not my keeper.
We've talked about this so many times, but this specific instance is so funny to me. It's not funny. It's horrible. But like,
it's horrid.
For the recap, we have an episode called No, I'm Not My Sister's Pimp. And we talk about this a lot. And a lot of people will like try to ask Francesca on a date or like be interested in her, and they'll ask me about it.
They'll like ask, like he's asking his hand in marriage.
Yeah.
Or like,
for their blessing.
Can I take your daughter out? Or do you care if I, and Nick's like, I don't know, fucking ask her.
It'll happen in so many different ways. Sometimes it'll be very subtle. Like, you think your sister would go for me? And I'm like, okay, not the worst, but like still ask her, not ask me, Or other people will just be like, hey man, I'm really thinking about, taking your sister out, and
or not taking me out.
Like
usually it's like hooking
cool,
up with me,
or like or then there's that people have been super fucking vulgar with me about what they want to do with you, and I'm just like, again, 1, ew, strange that you're saying that to me, but like 3, I'm not in charge. I'm just literally not in charge of that. But
so there's a guy that like I've had a crush on, and it was we had a little makeout on New Year's Eve. And so then I was like excited to like see him again, whatever. He had my number, but then he like didn't text me, but I wasn't that worried about it. Like, okay, fine. I met you, whatever. But then I saw him again, and then he kind of came up. And so I was like, oh, like shit, he's here. And like, he came out of nowhere, and he like made it a point to like apologize to me. Like, hey, I've really wanted to like ask, or not asking out. He was like, hey, like, I'm so sorry I haven't called you. I've just been like really dealing with some family stuff, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that's cool. Like, you don't have to. Like, I wasn't like expecting anything, but yeah, that'd be cool. Like, I'd love to like go out with you sometime, whatever. Again, doesn't text me, doesn't call me. So I'm like, okay, like I've just got to let this go to rest. I'm not like waiting for this man's call or anything. So then we see him again, and he's chatting with me, fine. Then he goes up and talks to Nick.
So he starts talking with me, and this is the first like real conversation I've ever had with him, right? And so I don't really know anything about him, and he just goes, "Oh, hey, you should meet my brother." And I'm just like, he was like, "Yeah, my brother's coming to town. You should meet him." And I'm just kind of like, okay, like, is your brother gay? Is that what you're saying? He's like, yeah, my brother's gay. I was like, oh, cool, like, okay, like, you think we should be friends, like, because we're gay?
It's
one
of those things also that people do, like, oh, I know someone gay, I should set you up. You're like, just because they're gay.
Like, I met a gay guy at a gas station the other day. I just really feel like you guys would hit it off. But so I'm like, okay, like, do you want me to meet your brother? And he's like, yeah. And then he goes, this just hit me like a curveball. He goes, yeah, maybe us 3 can all go on a double date. So he's talking about you.
Or us 4, yeah.
Us 4 could all go on a double date. And I was just like, what the heck? I get And so I go up and I tell Francesca that he just said that to me. And I'm like, I think he just asked you out through me and per avenue of his gay brother. And I was like, huh.
Like, you have my number. You could ask me out. I would love to go out with you, but not anymore.
It's over.
I think here's why it's over. So then he comes up to me and we're like chit-chatting. I go, so I hear you asked me out on a date, but through Nick. And he was like, oh, like, yeah, I was just saying, like, we should all, like, maybe, like, double date. And I was like, all right, like, you got to ask me, though. And I was like, he's like, all right, like, I'd love to take you out. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, I'm going to Vegas. And he was like, all right, well, like, text me when you get back from Vegas. And I was like, I get back Wednesday night. Like, plan something and talk to me. Like, that's exactly when I get back. And he was like, oh, okay. And then I folded and I texted him when we got back to hang out.
I think it's fine.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad because he did ask me to, but I was kind of like wanting him to take initiative. And so I was like, I'll give him like one concession because I don't need to chase anyone. And I was like, hey, like, I'm back in town. And he was like, oh, I'm skiing. And I was like, okay, well, we're going out in 2 days when you get back, because he said when he would get back to Denver. We're going out for Nick's birthday. And I gave him the info. And then he didn't respond. So I'm like,
all right,
it's over.
It's over.
I've kind of let
but
that.
Should I still meet his brother?
I don't know. I bet he's tall. This man
kidding.
is 6'7". Or wait, 6'9"?
No, 6'7". 6'7".
Yeah.
Like, he's not freakish.
No, I think it's
6'9". No, it's 6'7".
No, I think it's 6'8".
Okay, well, that's still
it's
really
either
tall.
6'7" or 6'8", because I knew it was significantly taller than my exes, which were 6'5".
6'5", yeah. I've had 3 people in the last day tell me that I seem taller, which I'm like,
That's wild.
I know, it's so weird. I don't know.
Maybe your posture's gotten better since you've been working out again.
It always does. But I was working out
before your limp.
Yeah, before the limp. Yeah, because I saw some old friends up in Breckenridge. And they were like, "Have you always been this tall?" I'm like, "I don't know."
That's great. Maybe you're still growing.
Maybe, yeah. I was like, I don't know. It's my 29th birthday.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, now we just have to get into.
I know. Yeah, this story. Okay, so because it was my birthday, people have been like, "Oh, how's your birthday been?" And I all I could respond with was like, "Dude, I've been living life like it's the WWE." They're like, "What does that mean?" And I'm like, for my birthday, I had my best friend come in town. Shout out Max White. We were supposed to do a podcast with him, but that never happened. But anyway, he came out to visit me. He'd never been in Colorado before. And so he comes out. And he comes Thursday and he's staying till Sunday. And that Thursday we go out and get a beer and have like a quick little catch up. But we end up, just as I always do, we end up getting a little too crazy. And we end up blacking out Thursday night, which was fine. But
you know what? No, that always happens. Your first night of a vacation, your first night seeing like a best friend you haven't seen in a long time. It's like, hey, we're having a chill night because it was your birthday the next day. You're going to go crazy. But like, you're like, let's just like, I stayed home. And they were like, oh, we're just like going to go grab dinner and a beer. And I was like, oh, okay, cool.
And we did. We grabbed dinner and a beer.
But you went to like our favorite little spot, Occidental, and they would just started feeding you shots for your birthday.
Yeah. Because then my birthday turned midnight. So it was my birthday. So everyone was like, it's your birthday, shots. So shots happen. And I was just
your
trying
best friend.
Best friend. I'm trying to show him like, my favorite little neighborhood. And all of a sudden, I just like wake up in my bed with that like sinking feeling of like, oh God.
No, you guys both like, well, first I saw him, like you were still in your room and he's like, oh man, like he did dry January. So it was his first day drinking.
Totally.
Since dry January, and he's at altitude and he was like, I am not well. Like the look on his face was like dread.
Yeah, he was bad. He was down bad. And I just kind of hear him like scuffling him around out there. And I'm like, oh God. And I just knew exactly what happened. Like just the series of events of like how we have brought ourselves to this situation. And I'm like, fuck.
And you guys know you have an entire day full of activities.
No, like 3 days of activities.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, oh, exactly what we said we weren't going to do. Like, oh no.
So Nick gets up. I don't know how we noticed first. I'm like, is there?
I don't know. My brain wasn't fully on. I was just kind of like,
Sorry, guys. As we get through this together. So I go into Nicholas's room and it looks like my dog got sick. Zah does not shit in the house, but it looks like she had like diarrhea or something happened and she shit on the bath mat, but it's
in
like
my bathroom.
But it's like stepped on, or it's like a pile of shit. Like I can't tell. I don't get into it. I'm more like, oh God.
Yeah.
And I decided this bath mat was probably from Bed Bath & Beyond. It was probably $12. We're going to put this in a ball and I'm throwing it away.
Oh, you threw it away. That's right. Because I was wondering where it was today. I forgot about that.
No, I was like, I'm not putting that in my washing machine.
No.
Like that's
smart
gone.
move. But
and I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like, well, I can tell someone stepped in it, but like, I don't know. And then Max is like, oh fuck. Like I have shit on my feet. And I'm like, you stepped in it? So then as we're figuring this out, you wake up out of it. You don't know what's going on. You're like, and you're like leaning and you're like, oh God, is there shit? And you're like, I think I might have stepped in it.
Oh, I stepped in it.
What
Guys.
looks like happened is that I went to bed. Za didn't tell me she needed to go out. I guess Za got sick on the bath rug. They got home wasted and it looks like they brushed their teeth, took out their contacts and got ready for bed.
Just stepped in shit and
in a pile of dog shit.
I know. So it was like all over my feet.
No, so Nick steps in it, goes into his bed. It's all over his feet. He's rolling around in his bed. His feet are together. So
guys,
Nick, wait.
This was the start of my birthday. Covered in blackout drunk, covered in shit.
And then, but like we didn't realize like the extent of it. But you're like, I think I stepped in shit. But you're like, I need a fucking cigarette. So we go outside to sit down to have a cigarette, and you like cross your legs and you see
it's like on my ankles and stuff, not up my legs, okay?
No, I'm
me.
not convinced it's Za. I think one of you bent over and shit on the
rug. It was like in front of my sink, not like in front of the toilet.
I didn't know how blacked out you guys got.
I mean,
I was
it's
like,
not like
you
I'm just
both
shitting
of you
on the
check your underwear.
You
monkeys. We didn't know at first who it was.
Monkeys is a really good description of whatever happened there, but hold up. You have a cigarette. I was not feeling well enough to have one in the morning.
No.
Yeah. And so after a little while, I go back to bed. I do all the sheets and stuff like that. And so I take a shower and everything like that. And then I go back to bed, but I'm sleeping on my mattress with like not a sheet on it because I'm just so tired. And then, so this is when Max goes and like gets in the bath and starts drawing the bath and like being all zen. And
so we all went down. We're like, we got to go back to bed. Yeah. So I go out for a cigarette, and we had decided the day after Nick's birthday, we were all quitting smoking. Well, he doesn't smoke.
Max doesn't
us
smoke.
Too.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, like we said we're going to quit after Burning Man, but I was like, we have to.
Yeah.
And so it was my last day of smoking. I'm having a little ciggy outside, and I go down for a nap.
Go down for a little nap.
Next thing you know,
I literally wake up to Max just screaming, like, because I'm going in and out of sleep. And so I heard him like take the bath. And so he's like being all zen in the bathtub. And then all of a sudden I hear him go, oh, shit, guys, fire.
But when something's serious, Max laughs. And mind you, he just got done meditating in the bathtub. So he's naked. Nick's in his boxers. I'm asleep. And Max comes in cracking up. He's like, you guys. He starts fucking.
You need to get up now. Like,
like
we need a lot of water. And I'm just like literally sitting here like, and I just like heard the tone of his voice. Like, he means that there's a fire.
But he couldn't stop.
I know. And so I'm like, so I like pretty much like backflip like a monkey out of bed and no shit. And I'm like, oh my. And then I look to the patio, and the patio, there's just like, I see a ball of flame come from the patio. And my jaw was just like, oh,
but we all just kept staring at each other and laughing as we were like, what do we do? And like, so we're filling up like Nalgene bottles.
And like a mug of water.
We're like, giant just balls of flames.
And I'm like, so we actually had this couch out there because we hadn't set the studio back up because it flooded and molded, so it was out on the patio. So I'm like, all the couches caught on fire on our patio. And we also live like, our patio overlooks like one of the busiest streets in Denver, so everyone can see it. So it's like Literally, a giant building is on fire during rush hour traffic of the busiest street in Denver.
So apparently, lots of people, I don't know how many, but like I think like over 20 called both the fire departments and 911 saying that the name of our building was like our building's on fire.
Completely on fire.
So,
and also it like caught this plastic planter box on fire. The couches were not on fire. It was like actually just like a planter box.
Yeah, it was the plastic was very flammable. Like, okay, I took my cigarette and I put it out in a plant.
Yeah.
That seems like a safe place. Like
no, that's where I put out most of the cigarettes and like plants, like outdoor plants, you know? But I guess there were some like leaves and stuff in there that could have caught fire. I don't know how it happened because
I don't understand.
I don't think I could have, and I'm a wizard with fires. I do not know how you could catch plastic on fire with a cigarette butt.
I put it like down into the, I think our maintenance guy said that like peat moss can be like flammable.
Peat moss is flammable.
He said,
I don't think there's peat moss in that though.
That's what he said.
Yeah, but peat moss is flammable.
Right.
I don't know, dude. Mind you, not important. The patio's on fire. And it's caught the plastic on fire, so it started dripping this like molten flaming plastic that doesn't go out with water. So it was like a problem. Like the more water we were putting on it, it was like a tire. It wasn't going out. Meanwhile, 11 fire trucks. 11 fire trucks come down.
Separate trucks.
Separate.
All filled with men.
Uh-huh. And then, so our building manager comes in, our head maintenance guy comes in, and I'm just like, oh my gosh.
There was lots of screaming, and I'm holding back laughter because I'm just like,
I just have no idea. But then a whole like 7 firefighters, like completely like in the full garb with like, they were even wearing like the hat.
I think they get fully ready all the time, but like I think they were ready to like knock down some doors, save some pets, save some humans.
Yeah, and like
they were told the building was on
with like axes and stuff. Yeah. I'd never seen anything like it. I thought I was in like a episode on a TV show or something because there were so many people there. I don't know. So that was my birthday. I just woke up covered in shit, and then my house caught on fire, and then before you know it. And then, so like we get it all sorted, and we're kind of like, you know, and our building managers are like not too happy with us, but they were like, accidents happen.
But it's a non-smoking property.
So that was also kind of our issue, but it was whatever. Anyway.
I was like, that was our guest.
That was our guest.
I've never smoked a cigarette in my life.
So, but then like we had to get ready to like go to this concert that we're going to.
Yeah, we had places to be.
We literally had places to be. So then I'm like, all right, Max, like, let's go. And he's like, dude, I don't feel so good. Like, I'm hungover. It was just a rough start to the day, even though it's like 5 p.m. at that point. But we were late to our friend Glory's house. We're having everyone congregate before the concert. And Francesca, you just texted her. It's like, hey, I'm going to be late. Our house caught on fire.
Yeah, I was like, listen, like because we all needed like a second. It was like a lot of adrenaline.
No, it was so, I mean, guys, that is scary.
I didn't know if I was getting evicted.
Oh, well, that's what I was also really worried about.
I was like, fuck. Here we go.
Hey,
guys, we're moving.
Happy Groundhog's Day.
I'm not moving shit.
I'm not moving. They can just keep everything I own. I'm just.
No.
I like. Anyway, I just felt like. Yeah, so that's what was so funny. Like when people are like, "Oh, like you know, how's your birthday?" I'm like, "I've been living life like the WWE." And they're like, what do you mean?
Like Max was like, "This is why I haven't come and visit you guys because like I thought that I would die, but I didn't know that there was gonna be like that I'd be covered in shit, that like you would almost catch an entire building on fire, that like we would accidentally stay out until like 5 o'clock in the morning." He's like, every time I hang out with you guys, it's just like, I'm like, saucy. I was a little saucy.
He always yells at me for being a little crazy. He's just like,
whatever.
Oh, I don't know, Nick.
He's crazy. He probably ordered half those shots.
I know he did, which is funny. Like, I'm just saying, like, I
haven't had a cigarette in 5 days, though.
Me, I guess I had one like 4 days ago, maybe.
Was it 4 days ago we quit?
I had one.
Oh, did you sneak one?
No, I can't remember the last one I had, but it's been a while.
I guess we've quit. It's in the past. I can't go back.
No. I think I'm over smoking too. They weren't always hidden. Sometimes they would, but
no, I look better.
Yeah,
you guys, if you compare this podcast to the last podcast,
yeah,
I was like, Here's the thing, like the podcast isn't about how pretty I am. Like that's not our thing.
I'm glad.
I know. It's just like sometimes I can't be like, Nick, you can't put that out. I look like shit. I was like, I look like shit.
Well, it was just like the perfect time to like, if you ever needed a sign to quit smoking, it was lighting your house on fire.
No, and as I was saying that day, I was like, oh, well, I'm quitting tomorrow. And it's like, well.
That last cigarette, you know?
I think they would kick us out of here if they see us smoking on the balcony. Because we used to have a nice little smoking area. I don't
If they caught us smoking on that balcony, I would evict ourselves. You know, if they evicted us, I'd be like, honestly, like I deserve that. That's like,
well,
fine.
It's like a way to stick to it. But no, you guys, even when I was like not drinking and then I started smoking, I was waking up feeling like I had been drinking.
Yeah.
It makes you feel like shit.
I don't feel that, but you kept saying like, oh man, like, ugh, like I feel bad. And
I was waking up
you
angry.
You didn't drink. Oh,
I think because I was like having nicotine withdrawal over the night.
You know?
I was literally waking up wanting to punch someone in the face. And I was like, this is not pleasant. This is not my like baseline personality. Sure. And I think it's like,
for sure,
just so much irritability. I'm like, I don't.
Although cigarettes in the morning, I feel like are the best. It's like the early morning, like about to go to bed early morning, or like just woken up early morning.
Well, like you have a coffee and a cigarette and you go, shit, you just clean yourself out.
Yeah.
And then you're like, whew, I'm ready to start the day.
Yeah. But it's so funny how like you hear about like, oh, your morning routine is really important. And it is, but like a cigarette is just not a good morning routine, albeit a bit zen and peaceful.
It is quite nice. We're going to have to start. I like the breaks during the day, though, because like we'd both be working in our room separately and then be like, you want to go have like a little ciggy?
Let's go have a chai. A little
yeah.
cigachino. Yeah. For sure. I completely agree. Take a little step outside.
But
step
now we're going to
patio.
To have tea time.
We're going to have tea. Also, Max, shout out Max. He gave me a tea set for my birthday. It's gong fu cha, if you're familiar with it. It's a style of tea. It uses a tiny little pot. Comes from China, but it's really interesting because you only make like 4 ounces of tea when you make it, and it's just like a little sip. But
we did a lot of tea stuff. We toured the Celestial Seasonings.
Yeah. I figured out about the cult. I looked into it.
Oh, okay. So Celestial Seasonings, sleepy time tea.
Sleepy time tea.
Apparently, the guy who started it had a cult.
Okay, no. So I had always heard that there's like this sleepy time tea cult, and I was wondering about like what that was. So basically what happened was this guy was living in the mountains, the Rocky Mountains. He started collecting herbs, and he started the Celestial Seasonings company. But he joined a cult that was really big into sleepy time tea, and they started using it. So he just kind of became like that cult was based off this guy, like got a whole bunch of downloads from like, the aliens.
A demon, probably.
Yeah, and he started writing down like a lot of things, and it was all about like where like the origins of the universe and aliens and stuff like that, and how we all had a whole bunch of different alien souls. However, one group of alien souls were like not as evolved as the other alien souls, and that was black people. So, and he was racist, and he believed that like black people weren't as evolved, and he was
like how the Mormons think. That's insane.
Mm-hmm. And he was big into eugenics as well.
Dope.
So that's why like Celestial Seasonings has nothing to do with that, but the founder was into eugenics.
Okay.
And
that's why, because she got weird.
And she was like, no one else would talk about this, but I will. She was like, but he's not really associated with it. But I could tell she was kind of lying, because she was like, oh, what cult are you talking about? And I was like, oh, this one thing. She was like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. But then immediately goes, yeah, I guess I can talk about that, but no one else will. I'm like, so you do know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that was a weird thing.
I felt like we were like getting some, like, I was like, why are we lying at the tea plant? But that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, when your founder is a racist, that's not good for marketing.
Yeah. Yeah. We own a podcast because you never know who you're talking to.
I know. I know. Exactly. Right. What if she gave me all the dirty tea about like all the like current employee, the dirty. Sorry. That was good. I like that. The dirty
I love
tea.
that I caught you off guard.
The dirty tea. Yeah. So like, you never know who you're talking about. Like, who knows? Who knew that we had a podcast and we were just going to go and talk about the sleepy time tea cult?
Yeah. We single-handedly take down Celestial Seasonings.
Mm-hmm.
No, they were, again, not associated with all that shit. The company was great. We like toured a tea facility. We did some wholesome things for your birthday.
We did. We actually did a lot for the birthday. And one thing about me is like, or us, is like we love a field trip. We loved. You want me to go tour like a water treatment facility? Down.
We've thought about like we would love a reality show that was a mix between like The Simple Life and like How It's Made.
Like, I think that's
like Dirty Jobs.
Doesn't that sound amazing?
I'll start a YouTube
The
series.
Simple
right
Life,
now.
Dirty Jobs, and How It's Made put together. You know, David and Alexis.
Yeah.
And we're gonna start Sleepy Time Tea. And you're like, so I heard there was a cult. And she's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Moving on, you know. But
I'm into it. You know, guys, we're just happy to be back in the new year. Is this our first podcast in the new year?
No. It's our third.
Oh, okay.
It's our third.
Sorry, I don't know why I blacked out and forgot when we had done a podcast. I guess because like we're back finally in the studio. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I was like, wow, is it?
We did say we were gonna do one every week.
No, we're doing what
but like no, but the thing is like our house caught on fire. No, but like with the mold and stuff like that.
And your birthday and Vegas.
Yeah, it was just like a lot. Well, that's one thing about my birthday is like, okay, your birthday is Thanksgiving, then it's Christmas or Thanksgiving, and then it's Christmas, and then it's the New Year, which is my favorite holiday, and then you have a month, and of course we had to go to Vegas during January, and then it's my fucking birthday.
I know. We're getting down to business.
So
let's get down to business.
I'm just saying I've always had like a rough holiday season or like a busy holiday season because one,
you've had a busy. Yeah, everyone else.
No. But you didn't hear me. You didn't hear, but your birthday plus my birthday. You know what I mean? And that's what I mean. It's like my holiday season is longer than other people's.
No, it is. That's where it starts. Yeah. I also decided to start drinking on my birthday.
Yeah.
And then I drink till your birthday.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why
we're back, guys.
We're back.
I'm not trying to stay sober forever. I'm going to go on vacations for little stints. But no, you guys, I got depressed and fat. Sorry, not to be.
Sorry, we haven't been podcasting. I got depressed and fat.
I was.
Yeah.
No, my body just.
You do. You are having less fun after a while.
No,
you know? And
that's
then
just
what
it
like,
is.
What like, and then it's just like this sucks, and I'm like, okay, well, I think maybe a little sobriety, you know?
Yeah, it doesn't need to be again like a thing.
Exactly.
And we still have sponsors that are alcohol.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm not fully sober Sally, but like I can't be.
You can't drink for 3 months straight.
No.
Yeah.
I start like questioning my entire existence, and I start crying a lot.
Yeah. Which is not fun. Like, I don't like you feeling that way. But sometimes like when you come to me and like start telling me that like you're fat and you hate yourself, I'm kind of like,
maybe it's time. I get depressed and my anxiety comes back. I was like, oh, weird. I haven't had anxiety in 8 months.
Yeah.
That was great.
No, and we said this last time. Alcohol makes you depressed. And and when we said that, everyone was like, yeah, no shit. I'm like, no, but like.
It sneaks up on you.
It really does. Well, guys, thanks for being here. We're back in business.
We really are.
We're so excited. So thank you so much for listening to our shit stories. What was that?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just excited to be back. I love being on the podcast.
And the studio is back, which I'm really
happy
about.
That's what I'm saying. We're back. We're in the studio. We got our friends. And you're not covered in shit.
No.
Things are good. We'll see you next week. I love you guys.
Okay, bye.
Bye.